Hi there everyone, my name is Joe O'Herlihy. I'm the sound director for a very little known group called U2. Way back when, vivid memories of it, it was the Arcadia Ballroom in Cork City, 1978 that is. At the time it was like a typical scenario where you'd see support groups come and go and stuff like that, but Bono was very adamant that the two people and the dog in the hall basically paid attention to him, so that was the first signs really that of what was to come. There was this element of connectivity of, we're up here guys and, pay attention, breaking down the fourth wall, which is the vital ingredient of what the whole U2 journey has been all about, tour to tour, year in, year out. We climbed that wall every single time, and it's just an extraordinary result. And, being at front of the house, you see the people when they turn around to leave, they're just beaming from ear to ear, This tour has been a completely different sonic approach. The brief and scope from the band was that they would play on the arena floor. They would play with a main stage, with a runway stage, with an E stage, and as most people have seen, they play inside the screen as well. So from an audio perspective, we could not use the conventional method, which is like your main stage with a PA system left and right of that, because if the band are focused on playing on the E stage and the sound is coming from their position on the main stage, it's dislocation. And the focal point has always been about complete connectivity, so we have to have a distributed audio system, and this is the actual design configuration I came up with. Working with all of the other departments, the size of the screen being 96 feet long by 22 feet tall and stuff like that, we ended up with the concept of putting the PA system up into the ceiling where you cannot see it, but the sound from it is omnipresent. We have pretty much an oval configuration where the speaker system is, there are 12 hangs, vertical arrays of speakers in columns, and what that does is that it gives us a very good distributed audio system, and that covers the entire arena all the way around from the front to the back, left and right. That tracks the entire building, so no matter where you are, you get the perfect image in stereo. It's an absolutely new innovation, to be perfectly honest. When I developed the sound design for this, I had never thought about where we would put front of house, because it doesn't matter where you go, you have the same sound, because the sound is achieved in an omnipresent manner. So my front of house is up with the people, with the fans, which is fantastic because you see the immediate reaction from people, and it's fantastic to be there, to be that close. And at the same time, people tell you if they like it, and they certainly tell you if they don't like it. The new songs have been extremely challenging from the onset of all of this. I find that they develop their own character as we go, as the tour has progressed. And now they're songs that sit equally as well with all of the entire back catalogue and the integration in the story that's been told. And across the entire tour, these songs have developed their own characteristic U2 stamp on them that's developed even further from the studio version. I love songs like Bullet to Blue Sky because that takes me back to my sort of guitar, bass and drum, my pedigree as such, going back to the Rory Gallagher days. It's just, when Edge is like, it's Jimi Hendrix, it's all of that. And it just gives me a shiver every time, The home audiences, we've been waiting for this for the last 9 months, and it's just been incredible. Coming into Belfast was fantastic. I mean, being back in the homeland, as I say, and you could see that, U2 in Ireland is just such an incredible thing. The Dublin shows, we're on our last night tonight, and they've just been wonderful. When you get the fan from next door hollering abuse at you, which is what it's all about in your homeland. The show on Tuesday night here in Dublin was like, the hair on the back of my neck was like standing on end, and that shiver, 40 years on, is the same as it was first day, and that's what it's all about. Hi, I'm the small fat guy with the beard. This is what I do.